Having spoken so much about what is self-esteem, what is low, what is high self-esteem, let's now look at how do I measure, how do I know whether where I fall on continuum, whether I'm low on my self-esteem or whether I'm more towards the higher side, whether I'm more towards the negative, whether I'm more towards the positive. You and I tend to constantly, when we shift situations, when we are put in different situations, we tend to shift gears and we fluctuate between our we fluctuate on the continuum between our low and high self-esteem, but overall we tend to be more dominant on one particular side of the continuum. Say that in one situation I had a slightly more positive approach than I usually do, so it probably says that I'm more towards the low side of the continuum. Now, how do I specifically measure this? How do I evaluate my sense of self-worth? I need you to sit down and reflect and ask these questions to yourself and very honestly answer these questions. Number one, say if I feel that the progress that I have made in my career, in my life, in my at work, in my marriage, my family, in the different roles that I've been bearing in my life, is this because I deserved it? Is this because I worked hard? Or do I say it's because of sheer luck? Number two, say if others compliment me or they are nice to me, I tend to feel very suspicious. Number three, say if number three, I often tend to say these things to myself. Why even try when I'm not gonna do it? I'm not gonna be able to do it. What's the point when nobody cares? Now, if you reflect and the answer to these questions is true, then you need to spend some quality time with yourself. You need to sit down in retrospection and you need to reflect as to why do you feel this way? What are the events in your life that have led you to feel a certain way about yourself? Having accomplished where you are on the range, say if you are on the lower side of the continuum on the range of self-esteem, what do we do? How do we go about building on that self-esteem? Your first point, your first step towards that is I need you to take a pen and a paper and have two columns. On one column, I need you to write down your assets. Your assets are the qualities that you possess, the strengths that you have, that you are aware of, things that usually work to your advantage. These are the qualities that you can work on, you tend to build on, and they generally tend to work to your advantage, be it at work, be it in your personal life. In the other column, I need you to name it as liabilities. Now, these are the qualities that you wish, these are your weaknesses, these are those qualities that you wish to improve, or that you wish to acquire, or that you wish to imbibe. Now, how do I know what are those liabilities? How do I get more clarity when I'm writing these things down, when I'm penning them down? How do I get more clarity on what is it that I wish to work on? Our assets, of course, you will have so much to write on your assets column. In your liabilities, if you can't think of what to write, think about a person who you really respect and you admire. Now, write down the name of that person and write down his or her personality traits, the qualities that you like about that person. It can be anything from honesty, integrity, accountability, confidence, subject matter expert, say behavior towards others, communication skills. You need to pen these things down, and when you are writing these things down, these are those qualities that you wish to imbibe in yourself or you wish to improve upon. Write these down in liabilities. There are some of you who will be really harsh on themselves. You probably won't find too much to write in your assets column, and you'll have a lot to write in your liabilities column. Don't be so harsh on yourself. Reflect, think what are those little talents. They might be little or small to you, but they are talents at the end of the day. Write them down. It can be a hobby, it can be a personality trait, it can be a certain language that you have the knack of, you are an extrovert, you can write down to your advantage. If you are an introvert, for some, let's say your job profile is such that it doesn't really involve you interacting a lot with others. So if that works for you, fine, but you do wish to improve on your introversion and your interpersonal skills, you want to become an extrovert, you want to be more open, more approachable, more friendly, so write that down in your liabilities column. The idea of engaging in this activity, the whole point of engaging in this activity is, even though you might be aware of these traits that you wish to imbibe or you wish to work on, the whole point of writing this down is that you are consciously making an effort and you are consciously giving a reaffirmation to yourself to work on these certain qualities, to work on these traits. That is how you will end up evaluating yourself. Having accomplished that, you will then move on to the next step on working towards building a healthy and a positive self-esteem.